YouTube decided I'm no longer allowed to use the music in my intro, so now, until I find another one, you're stuck with my voice.
What is up guys, this is Olympio, coming at you with a discussion video on why it really sucks to play Yu-Gi-Oh! In Europe. Now, I'm not saying that it's completely shit and crap. I'm just saying in comparison to the US, for example, who have all these massive events, they have all the exclusives, they have all of the kind of special cards that come out in the mangas and all this such that we don't get. I want to do a bit of discussion on just those things that kind of crop up, and some people in my US kind of subscribers might not know these things. But these are things we have to deal with quite a lot. Some of the most annoying things for me by playing Yu-Gi-Oh! In England and Europe is that we don't necessarily have a lot of big events. It's not such a huge thing over here than it is over in America. It's one thing that's really annoying because we don't have as many opportunities to go to these big events. That's why, for example, UK YouTubers aren't that big. There are some big YouTubers, don't get me wrong, but they're kind of more bigger in America because it's a bigger thing over there. There are bigger opportunities and there are bigger events. So there's one thing that's always annoyed me, the fact that we rarely get any big tournaments going on. We had YCS London back in October, but that's kind of one of the few ones we had. Like, we had Brighton last year, but we get them like once a year maybe. And then we have European Championships that we all have to travel to. So it's not exactly that great. And I appreciate that people in America do have to travel still to their different states where they're dotted around. But let's be honest, it's a tiny bit easier for you guys to do that than for us to jump to different countries. The other thing is how we have a less of a card pool than you guys. And I know it's kind of like a 0.1% or 0.3% of cards that you have over us, but they're big cards. Quasar is a massive one that we're dying to have reprinted over here. If you didn't know, any of the kind of like the Shonen Jump mangas or the Shonen Jump magazines, those cards, we can't play them until they are reprinted in Europe. So for example, they're put in our special editions, or they're put in some like gold set or anything like that. They have to be reprinted over here for us to play them. The one of the ones that we've been waiting for ages was Black Ship of Corn. That card we were waiting for about a year and a half, I think it was, before we could even play it. And that was around the time where Zenmaines was huge, and you know, all these blockers were huge, and we couldn't use it because it wasn't legal. And now it is legal because it got reprinted about half a year ago. It's not that great anymore. It's kind of past its prime. And there are just so many cards out there that we can't use because it's not been reprinted over here. And that really pains me, that really sucks. And it's just so irritating when you want to build these cool decks, like cool Quasar decks, that we just can't use over here competitively. We can use them at locals if it's small locals and you know the people there and they don't mind it, you can use it there. But in tournaments where you want to build these cool decks, you know, I've been wanting to build Larval Quasar and play it for fuck knows how long, but I haven't been able to because Quasar isn't available. And then I'm just like, well, there's no real point. Larvals are cool and such, but the big boss monster is Quasar, and without Quasar it's kind of a bit boring. Other things are just kind of like the community. We have a smaller community, and it'd just be really nice to be in America and in that community, and no matter how drama filled or kind of whatever anger filled or anything like that, it's still arguably really fun. It's something that we don't really experience over here. We're quite modest in our community, and we don't really have big players like the Jeff Jones or the Billy Break. You know, those people are big over in America and their name is like plastered all around. Over here we do have like big players that people know about. Like Luke Leonard is one that a lot of people know, but it's kind of a lot dumbed down over here than it is over there. And I don't mean that in a degrading way. I just mean that we don't really make a big thing of it as such. And when someone wins, we're like, yep, that's great. Like, it's really cool. For example, YCS champion in Brighton, Ping Zhao, who was one of the guys in my Bristol locals, he won it, great, then it just ended. Like, if it happened over in America, like, well, we'd have deck profiles, this guy would be known, this guy would be big, you know, he won a YCS, for God's sake. But it just doesn't happen over here, and it's quite an interesting thing as well. But I'm also like, I kind of want it to happen because it'd be quite cool in a sense. But maybe that's just because we're different over here to the Americans. And maybe it's just the fact that it's just the different mentalities of the game over here than over there. The game is quite different over in America to here to the card choices and the decks that we have. And that's really interesting, intriguing to see, because especially seeing the deck profiles over there with their tech choices and deck profiles over here with our tech choices, it's definitely something cool to see. But the fundamentals of it is the big events that we just don't have. We have such a lack of big events. Like the ARG circuit, we just don't have anything like that at all. There are people who are trying to start stuff like that, which is very cool, but it's just very difficult to get up and running in the UK. The card pool, the promos that are there, we just don't have, and it's just really, really horrible to just see it happen and have to wait so long to get these reprints. So I want to know what you guys think about this. This is kind of geared towards the UK lot and the Europe lot who are affected by this, but also want to know if you guys over in America actually knew that we suffer, really suffer from the pain of being Europeans. So let me know down in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe, and I shall catch you guys later.